Week 7 of the NFL season is upon us in our Madden 22 franchise with the Philadelphia Eagles. Today, the Birds are going to travel down to Las Vegas as they are set to take on the Raiders, who have a 2-4 record on the season. Philadelphia is currently 3-3, coming off a tough loss last week against the defending champion Buccaneers. Before we get to today's game, we're going to be doing our very first prospect profiles of the year. We're going to get our first look at this year's draft class, specifically focusing on quarterbacks today, and trying to find players who could be future stars in this league and maybe get drafted by us. Our current quarterback situation is very interesting with Jalen Hurts, who has shown a lot of flashes so far in his NFL career, but we still don't know if he's consistent enough to be an actual franchise quarterback. This QB class is loaded with talent. Not only are there great players at the top, but as you go down the board looking at the later rounds, there are a bunch of hidden gems who I think can be possibly starting level quarterbacks in the future. We're going to go from top to bottom, focusing on the guys at the top first, and it's fitting that we start off with the number 1 projected quarterback in the class, Malachi Madison out of the University of Texas, who is an absolute stud. Not only is he the top projected quarterback, but he's the top projected player altogether in this year's draft class, and many scouts think he is the best player in the draft, regardless of position. Madison gives you everything you want in a quarterback. He stands at 6'2", 220 pounds. He has great arm talent. He has a cannon, good accuracy from all levels of the field, and he's also super athletic. He can make plays with his legs too, and I think his dual threat ability is really what sets him apart from all the other quarterbacks in this year's class. The Eagles probably are not going to be bad enough to finish with the number 1 pick, but they have 4 selections in the first 2 rounds, so if they really want to move up to get a guy like Madison, they probably can, but the problem is he's going number 1. So if the Eagles did want to make a move, it'd have to be for that top pick. If I were to nitpick, the only main weakness with him is that he plays with an all-star supporting cast. Wide receivers Tykeem Keon and Case Cugnet are both projected first-rounders. So other than playing with great players around him, there really are not many weaknesses to his game. The other projected top quarterback in this class is Xander Vanderwaal out of Wisconsin. Vanderwaal is an interesting player. I definitely don't think he has the ceiling that a player like Malachi Madison has just because he's not athletic enough. But he is still a really intriguing prospect, and I could see him going pretty high. For starters, he is a lefty, which makes things especially interesting. There's only one full-time starting quarterback in the NFL who's currently left-handed, that being Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins. And I think there are a lot of similarities in Tua's game with Vanderwaal. Both of them have solid athleticism. Both of them are pretty accurate as well. I think the big difference between Tua and Vanderwaal is the arm strength. Vanderwaal has a stronger arm, in my opinion, than Tua, and I think that makes him a more intriguing prospect going forward. He's only a third-round talent at the moment, and he has not had a phenomenal season this year at Wisconsin, but I do think there's a strong chance he'll be the second quarterback picked in this year's class. The other projected first-rounder is Jaquarie Johnson out of Louisiana Tech. He's only 21 years old. He is also a third-round talent, but don't get it twisted. He's super talented as well. Johnson stands at 6'8". Yes, 6'8", 210 pounds. He can absolutely sling the rock. He also is a cannon as well. His mobility is a concern. He's not the fastest. Now, he can still make plays with his legs. He's not necessarily Tom Brady in the pocket, but he's not a great runner, and he does have a hard time of getting away from pressure. But when he does run, he uses his frame and his toughness to make plays. The day 2 projected quarterback in this class is Braylon DeBoer out of Pittsburgh, who stands at 6'6" and weighs 300 pounds. He's a hefty guy, but he has a hefty arm. He's a pretty similar prospect to Johnson. The only difference is that they're literally 90 pounds apart. DeBoer is not the most mobile, which makes sense for a guy who is, 300 pounds. He's not going to win with his legs. He's going to win with his arm. Great arm strength, pretty good accuracy as well, and I think he is an interesting day 2 player for a team who could be looking for their new quarterback. Let's take a look at the next wave of QBs. Someone who really intrigues me is Ladarius Dobbs out of the University of Florida. Mid-5th round projection, mid-5th round talent. This guy is a playmaker. I think that's the best way to describe his game. He makes his best throws on the run while under pressure. He is better off running and making off-balance throws than just sitting in a balanced pocket. Let's take a look at this play here against Kentucky. This is a perfect representation of his game. Bang! On the run, under pressure, on the money. He's not the most consistent, and that's why he's projected to go in day 3, but as a 5th-round prospect, I think he's pretty good. He has a couple siblings in this draft class with wide receiver Troy Dobbs, who also plays at the University of Florida, and cornerback Jaden Dobbs, who plays at Alabama. We will talk about both Troy and Jaden in future prospect profiles later this season. After that tier, we're going to go a little bit forward now. One of my favorite late-round gems in the entire draft class is Caprica's Falconbridge out of the University of Kentucky. He also stands at 6'8". He does have a bigger frame than Jaquarie Johnson, weighing in at 245 pounds. But this is your John Elway type of quarterback. You know, the tall white guy who has a cannon for an arm. And, I mean, Denver kind of does need one, so I do think he'd be an awfully good fit with the Broncos. But I think he'd be a good fit for any team. Looking for a quarterback in day 3 of this year's draft class, I think his name is going to continue to soar up draft boards. And I really wouldn't be surprised if he's a 2nd or 3rd round pick when it's all said and done. And I think that's the range he certainly belongs with his upside. A few other notable players in here, including Jake Grover, a former Westlake Hornet, who of course transferred to LSU. He is projected to go in the 6th round. Malachi Madison's backup, Patrick Williams at Texas, is a draftable quarterback. My favorite undrafted QB in this class is Maddox Gillard out of Boston College, who is a projected early 5th-round talent. We're not going to look at his highlights because he's undrafted, but I do think he's pretty good. Let's also take a look at some of the top QBs in next year's draft class as well. Since we're only focusing on one position today, I want to look at players who are going to be in the 2nd draft class who I think could be really good, including Anthony Cortez III out of Westlake. Now, it's a very interesting question of who is the better QB prospect, Malachi Madison or Anthony Cortez III, and I think they're both good in their own rights. Cortez is a little bit smaller, only standing at 6 foot. I do think he is a little bit more athletic than Madison. He is super fast. He is a playmaker with his legs. Now, his small frame is not ideal, but he does have a great arm. He's super accurate as well, which I think is one of his biggest calling cards. And I think the fact that he's so well-rounded is probably going to be why he is the top quarterback taken in next year's draft class. Moving forward now, we're going to take a look at NC State's Joe Kilpatrick, who also started his career at Westlake. And if you remember, he cheated on SAT tests in high school. He was forced to drop out of Westlake and transferred to North Carolina State, where he's had a very solid career so far with the Aggies. Currently, he is the 2nd projected quarterback in next year's draft class, probably going to be a mid to late 1st rounder as of now, but this is next year's draft class. This is a long times away, so his stock could certainly fluctuate. He does not have great arm strength, and you would hope he'd have a stronger arm for a 1st-round pick, but his accuracy is great. The last quarterback we're going to be looking at today is Cece Vaughn out of UCLA, who is going to be a projected day 2 quarterback in next year's class, but I think his upside possibly warrants a 1st-round pick. He's a very similar player to Anthony Cortez III, and if you remember, Vaughn and Cortez had that big quarterback battle when they were freshmen at Westlake. Cortez won the job, Vaughn then transferred to UCLA, and he is not as good of a prospect as Anthony Cortez, but he is still really good, great mobility, great arm strength, but he doesn't have the accuracy that Cortez does. So that will conclude our first prospect profile of the year. Let me know what you guys thought about the style and the format of how I did it. So now we're briefly going to try to go through these pregame stuff, and then we will get to the game itself. First things first, the assistant GM wants to talk to us about some possible free agent fits. I was hoping he would bring up some young players who could be diamonds in the rough who I would, like to sign. So we click defense, and the 2 players he mentions are cornerback Josh Norman and safety Brandon Carr. I'm not really interested in either of them because they're both old and they're not really good anymore. So now we're going to ask about offense. Again, I was hoping for young players, and he brings up Latavius Murray and Larry Fitzgerald. We have to click one, so I clicked Murray. We can't let Larry Fitzgerald retire on another team other than the Cardinals, so that's really the only reason why I clicked Murray. We're not going to sign him for now, but if you guys want to see me sign Latavius Murray, I'd be down to do that, especially considering our goal line back, Jaquarie Johnson, has been a little bit disappointing this year, so maybe we want to add another veteran to the backfield. But for now, we're going to stick with our current running back room as is. We have a breakout challenge. The player isn't showing, but it looks like it's a receiver. And as you can see, it's Devontae Smith. Oh boy, this is quite the opportunity. So if Smith gets 3 touchdowns or 150 all-purpose yards, he will move up in dev. His development trade has not been revealed yet. He is currently 16 downs away from his hidden development trade actually getting revealed. Smith had his first 100-yard game of his career last week and has been really good so far for us, but he's going to need a big outing today against a pretty bad Raiders defense in order to jump up in dev. We're going to focus on the intermediate pass for both offense and defense. I know it sounds like a broken record because those are the main ones I choose, but we have to worry about Darren Waller up the middle of the field, and then offensively, that's what's been working for us. Derek Barnett and Jacoby Stevens each suffered injuries in practice. They will be out. Barnett is especially interesting because he was actually on the trade block, so with next week being the trade deadline, Derek Barnett might have played his final game as an Eagle. So let's get this game underway. Week 7 action. The 3-3 Philadelphia Eagles coming off a long week, trying to get back on the win column here today against the 2-4 Las Vegas Raiders here at beautiful Allegiant Stadium, which was, of course, just built. So let's now get this game underway. Can the Eagles get back to over 500 before the trade deadline, or can the Raiders get the victory? Las Vegas will be starting with the football. Carr has no time to throw it. He is quickly sacked by Fletcher Cox for a loss of 7. Cox has been unsurprisingly really good this year, per usual. After an incompletion, it's now 3rd and 17 here for Las Vegas. Carr is going to look to throw it under more pressure. He is sacked again, this time by Kayvon Wallace. So the Eagles' defense did not get a single sack last week against Tom Brady and the Bucs. Today they already have 2 within the first minute of the ballgame. Philadelphia gets great starting field position past the 50, as to start the game it'll be a handoff for Kenneth Gainwell to the left side. Gainwell with a nice move, he gains 11 yards. Kenneth Gainwell was not great last week against the Bucs, probably had his worst game of his career so far, but he has been really impressive for a 5th-round pick. 2nd and 8, it's a strike into the hands of Devontae Smith, who brings it to the 3. This is a major opportunity for Smith to go up in dev trait, and if he does complete the breakout challenge, he's going to have at least superstar development. 1st and goal, back to Smith for a touchdown, and the Philadelphia Eagles are on the board. So if Devontae Smith goes for the touchdowns, he only needs 2 more. If he goes for the yards, he's about 120 away, which both of those are going to be tall tasks, but if the Eagles force feed him the ball, it's possible. Las Vegas has it back, 3rd and 10. It's a dump off for Kenyon Drake, who is shoved out of bounds by Steven Nelson, but he only gets 2. The Eagles now have the momentum bar all the way filled up. So far, we're only 4 minutes into the game. I don't want to jump the gun, but the Eagles look darn good so far. 2nd and 8, Jalen Hurts going to scramble with it, and he's going to keep it himself for a 1st down. Jalen Hurts heard us talking about quarterbacks today in the upcoming draft classes, so I feel like he's got an extra chip on his shoulder this game to try to do well. 3rd and 10, the pass is broken up. That was a pretty bad throw by Hurts. Probably should have been intercepted. I think he tried to throw it over the defensive back's head into Devontae Smith's hands, but the pass was not accurate, and that will force a punt. Las Vegas has it back, 3rd and 4. Carr under more pressure from Fletcher Cox, and the pass is incomplete. The Raiders have had 3 drives so far today, and I'm pretty sure they have accumulated negative yards. 0 first downs for Vegas. The Philly defense is on fire to start this game. 3rd and 1, the offense has it back. Miles Sanders gets nothing, but does it get the first? He does not, only gaining 2, wrapped up by Yannick Ngakoue. So 4th and inches from the 47. The Eagles could have gone for it, but they decided to play it safe, and they just punted it. So Las Vegas has it back. Can this be the drive where the offense gets going? Well, that's not going to help. Strip sack for Josh Sweat. The right tackle, Alex Leatherwood, recovers the fumble, but that's still a big loss of yards, and Vegas has it inside the 5. Leatherwood has allowed more sacks than anybody so far in the NFL, and he has not been worth the 1st-round pick. 3rd and 20. Carr under a lot of pressure, but Darren Waller is wide open. Waller down the sidelines, and McLeod eventually catches up, but not before the Raiders gain 76 yards. Fletcher Cox nearly had a safety on that play, and now all of a sudden the Raiders practically have it in the red zone seconds later. I don't know why the Eagles just did not cover Darren Waller. It's not like they sent a full-on blitz. Yes, they did have more players going to the backfield, but you'd think somebody would cover Waller. And then the very next play, Josh Jacobs is into the house for a touchdown. 2 plays ago, the Raiders were backed up at like the 1-yard line, and now the game is tied. So Vegas has made a quick statement here to knot this one up at 7. I thought early this was going to be an Eagles blowout, but maybe not anymore, and that will conclude quarter number 1. Tied at 7, pretty good game so far. The Eagles dominated the first 7 or 8 minutes of the quarter, but the Raiders had a few big plays to tie it up. Philadelphia has the ball back. Nice play there for Jalen Reagor to get the first down. Reagor started the season off pretty hot. He has been quieter in recent weeks, but he still overall has had a pretty good season. Deep ball here on first down from Jalen Hurts. It's in the hands of Devontae Smith, who brings it to the 8-yard line. 3 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown so far for Devontae Smith, who is on pace to complete both challenges so far. We'll see if he's able to do at least one, because that's all he needs. 3rd and goal, short pass for Goddard, who is stopped at the 1. Nice tackle by Morrow, and the Eagles have an interesting decision on their hands. Do you take the points, or do you go for it? The offense is going to stay on the field. Philadelphia is going to be gutsy and go for it here on 4th and goal, and Sanders is not in. The Raiders stop them. Excellent goal line defense from Las Vegas. That was Gerald McCoy with the tackle. The old man showing he can still make plays. Now Vegas is starting backed up with their own 1, but I think it's worth it to stop the Eagles from getting the touchdown. Josh Jacobs on first down quickly gets them out of safety territory as he gets 11. Quick start to the game for Jacobs, who is one of the better young running backs in the NFL, only 23 years old, but he is already a very quality player. Back to Jacobs. He gets another first down run, and the Raiders are really pounding the rock. The Eagles' run defense this year, for the most part, has been quite good, but today, Josh Jacobs has had their number. 3rd and 7 now. Derek Carr all alone in the backfield, and his pass is intercepted. Darius, big play Slay with nothing but green grass ahead. That'll be a pick 6, and the Eagles are back on top. Darius Slay with his 4th interception of the season, which leads the NFL. They don't call him Big Play Slay for nothing, as he jumps for route intended for Henry Ruggs, and Ruggs, despite being super fast, is not able to catch up to him. A great play by Darius Slay, who's been arguably the best player on this team so far. And the Eagles are back on top about halfway through the second quarter. Las Vegas has it back, coming off the turnover, trying to rebound. As that time, Slay is unable to jump for route for Henry Ruggs. Ruggs gets the grab and the first down. Derek Carr is 3 for 9 with an interception today, but he also has 92 yards. He's averaged over 30 yards of completion. 3rd and 7, Carr goes short for Waller, who is chased out of bounds by Avonte Maddox. No first down for the Raiders, and their offense continues to really struggle. Philadelphia has it back, trying to extend this lead. 3rd and 9, Hurts under pressure, looking for Smith, and the pass is broken up. That was a pretty good throw, but Trayvon Mullen deflects it away, and that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. 14-7, Philadelphia on top. I feel like the Eagles have definitely been the better team so far, but we'll see if the Raiders can add some more points before halftime. As on 3rd and inches, Hunter Renfrow with the first down. Rodney McLeod tried to play the ball rather than play the receiver, and that decision backfired. 2nd and 1 now. Carr with a deep shot from the end zone. It's caught by John Brown for a touchdown, and Las Vegas will tie it up. Steven Nelson got burnt on that play, and Nelson has had a very up and down season. He's had a few big plays, but he's also had a few plays like that. Excellent play by John Brown. The officials would challenge the call, but he definitely got both feet in bounds, so the play will stand, and Las Vegas ties it at 14. 47 seconds left to go in the half. On 3rd down, the Eagles are going to run with it, and Miles Sanders only gets around 4. The Eagles didn't want to do anything super gutsy there. They wanted to flush a timeout, but the Raiders still have 2 timeouts and probably enough time to at least try to tack on a field goal. 36 seconds left from the 27. Carr, short throw up the middle for Darren Waller, who is pounded by McLeod. Raiders quickly call timeout number 2, but that is a productive play as they gained around 15 yards. Very next play from the 42 down to 30 seconds now. Carr goes short. It will be hauled in by Brown, who runs out of bounds before being tackled by Nelson. So the Raiders are able to keep their timeout, and they stop the clock. Now down to 26 seconds from the Philadelphia 45. Carr under pressure, up the middle again, this time for Ruggs, who brings it to the 30, and Las Vegas is definitely in field goal range. After calling their timeout, they're just going to go for the field goal right here, not try to possibly risk not being able to score. The 47-yard attempt from Daniel Carlson is good, and the Las Vegas Raiders take their first lead of the game. 14-17 is your score. And that will bring us to the halftime intermission. Nice. The Raiders' offense has been very dependent on a few big plays to get their point, but they do have the lead, and the Eagles are going to have to adjust. Looking at some games around the league, starting in the Meadowlands, the Carolina Panthers defeated the New York Giants 27-9. The NFC East has been, unsurprisingly, a disaster this year, and with a win, the Eagles could have sole possession of first place. The Bears are currently up 14-0 on the undefeated Buccaneers. With a minute to go in the first half, Tom Brady's just completed one pass for 10 yards. In Green Bay, the Washington football team defeats the Packers in a shootout 42-38. The Packers are 2-5 this year, which is someone who strongly dislikes the Packers in real life. I enjoy seeing them with a 2-5 record. Looking at the halftime adjustments, the Eagles have not really played consistently today. The defense has had good moments, the offense has had good moments, but neither team really has been all that consistent today. We're going to stay with the offensive game plan of throwing it medium, because I think that's where we do a lot of our passing. And then defensively, we're going to switch it from defend the medium pass to defend the deep pass. The Raiders have not been able to get anything going from plays within 20 yards, but Carr has also been slinging 50-yard bombs as well. On to the second half, 3rd and 6, tough throw for Smith, and it's off the mark. That could have been a really big play, and that could have really helped Devontae Smith's chances of completing that breakout challenge, but unfortunately it was a little bit offline. So the Raiders would quickly get it back here in the third quarter. First play of their new drive from the 26. Carr looking to throw it. He goes up the middle for Darren Waller, who gains 16. Waller has been, well, unsurprisingly, really good today, which is what you would expect because he's Darren Waller, and the Eagles don't really have anybody who can cover him. 2nd and 10. The running back, Jacobs, is smothered in the backfield for a loss of 2. Big play by Javon Hargrave, and now it seems like the Eagles' run defense is starting to come alive a little bit. 3rd and 12 now from the 39. Derek Carr looking to throw it. Has all the time in the world. Slinging up a prayer, and it is incomplete, but there's a flag! Defensive pass interference against Anthony Harris. And the Raiders are now going to get it at like the 5-yard line. Watching that in real time, I did not think that was pass interference, but as you take another look at it, yeah, Harris was trying to play for the ball, but he directly runs into the receiver's running path. So I get why that's a pass interference. You can't have those types of penalties, though, if you're the defense. And now the Raiders get a major opportunity to make it a 2-score game. 1st and goal, Jacobs gets nothing. Actually might have lost a yard, courteous of Rodney McLeod. 2nd and goal now from the 6. Can the Eagles' goal line defense get what would be a really big stop? As Jacobs again loses another yard. This time it's Eric Wilson along with Fletcher Cox who both make the play. And now it's 3rd and goal. You'd think a power back like Jacobs would excel here, but not on those two plays. And now the Raiders are going to look to throw it. Carr under pressure, hit by Cox, and it's nearly intercepted in the hands of Steven Nelson, but he's unable to make the catch. So all things considered, a field goal really isn't that bad. After that Anthony Harris defensive pass interference, I think we were all expecting the Raiders to score a touchdown. But if not for that pass interference, it would be a 3-point game. If not for been a 6-point game, and the two are pretty big differences. Philadelphia has it back, 3rd and 5. Nice first down conversion for guess who? Devontae Smith, who gets another grab. Smith still needs 2 touchdowns and around 70 or so yards, so he needs to have a big second half if he wants to do this. Jalen Hurts still wants to get the other receivers involved as Dallas Goedert brings it to the 30 for a nice gain of 24, and the Philadelphia offense is quickly trying to answer after a few lackluster drives. 2nd and 8 now from the 28. Jalen Hurts looking to throw it. He's going to go on the slant route. It's caught by Devontae Smith, who gains 15 yards. And the Eagles are now creeping closer. They find themselves in the red zone. Very next play, Hurts. Short pass for Miles Sanders, who will get the touchdown, and Philadelphia takes the lead. Devontae Smith was not in the game on that play, by the way. Still a productive drive for Smith. He had 2 big catches, and the Eagles take the lead. That was a really nice route by Sanders, who's had a pretty quiet day, but it's good to see him finding the end zone. So now it's 21-20. The Eagles have the lead, but they're not going to keep it for long if they're allowing plays like that. Hunter Renfrow gets about 40. Derek Carr has averaged nearly 20 yards of completion, but he's only completed like 50% of his passes, so it has been a really weird day for Carr. Josh Jacobs with the handoff. He is slammed to the ground by McLeod, but still gets the first down. Las Vegas now has it at the 23, and it seems like both offenses are really starting to click. 2nd and inches. Handoff for Bo Scarborough, who will get the score, and the former Lion will put the Raiders back on top as it's 26-21. The offense will stay on the field as they try to go for two, make it a clean 7-point game. The Eagles try to call an audible once they realize it was a pass, but unfortunately it looks like it's going to be too little too late. Hunter Renfrow is wide open. He makes the grab. And Las Vegas now finds themselves up by a clean 7 points as we near the conclusion of the third quarter. 2nd and 10. Hurts with a strike into the hands of Hakeem Butler, who brings it to the 44. The backup tight end making a play. Look for Butler to get more involved. This team is really high on his upside and what he can bring to the table. That'll conclude the third quarter. The score is 28-21 with the Las Vegas Raiders holding the lead. 3rd and 1. Jaquarie Johnson up the middle with a big run. If Johnson can get plays like that, then the Eagles are not going to need a guy like Latavius Murray, who of course we talked about earlier in the video. 2nd and 9 now from the 30. Jalen Hurts going to look to throw it. He's going to go short now for Devontae Smith, who makes a nice play to the 13-yard line, and Smith is creeping closer and closer to the 150 yards mark. I believe he's definitely over 100 now. Very next play from the 13. It's going to be a toss for Smith. This will count as a pass. Smith with a move and the touchdown. Great play by Devontae Smith to get his second score of the day, and this game is tied at 28. So it looks like this one might come down to the wire. Not only this game, but whether Smith completes his breakout challenge or not. I think he's probably 20 to 30 yards away from the 150 mark, and obviously he's one touchdown away as well. 2nd and 2 for Las Vegas. Carr goes short for Renfrow, who's had a really big game. He gets to the 36-yard line, and the Raiders are keeping the chains moving. Very next play. Vegas awfully close to field goal range with about 5 minutes left to go. Carr looking to throw it. Under pressure, he is sacked by Josh Sweat, his second of the game. That's the first sack for either team since Sweat had that early strip sack back in the first quarter. Not a lot of pass rush consistently from either side, particularly the Raiders, but it's been like 3 quarters since the Eagles got their last sack too. 2nd and 21, down to 4.5 minutes, it's picked off! Darius Slay with his second interception of the game, and the Eagles force a huge turnover. In the 2 games the Eagles have played against AFC West teams, Darius Slay has 4 interceptions. He picked Mahomes off twice, and now he's picked off Derek Carr twice. Darius Slay is still one of the best ball hawks in the NFL, even though he's now 30. He's still showing he has a lot left in the tank. First down, there's a nice throw for Jalen Reagor to the 50, and this clock is ticking. 3:20 to go. Eagles trying to take a late lead, which could propel them to win the game. Devontae Smith with a nice play, getting the first down. And now I think Smith is one solid gain away from completing the challenge. Yeah, he only needs 4 yards. He's at 146 on the day, so really one more catch should complete him the breakout challenge. On the very next play, Hurts is going to go short for Devontae Smith, who gets the first down, and that will do it. Devontae Smith has now successfully completed the breakout challenge. He's gotten over 150 yards today. And now let's focus on the end of this game as we approach the 2-minute warning. 28-28. Can the Eagles pull it off? 3rd and 7. Hurts scrambling under a lot of pressure, and he's just going to throw it away. Did not want to take the sack. So the Raiders defense gets the stop. That'll send the field goal unit out. Jake Elliott's first field goal attempt of the game from 30 yards out for the lead. He drills it. Nice kick for Elliott, and it is now 31-28. So the Raiders offense returns with about 100 seconds and 2 timeouts to go to try to tie or win. 3rd and 7. Henry Ruggs with the catch. Does he get the first? I didn't think he did, but the officials gave it to him. Very next play, Carr finds a wide open man. Again, it's Ruggs who is out of bounds for 45. The Eagles have not really covered the sidelines at all today, and as you can tell, it's definitely backfired. Very next play from the 45, down to 1:16 to go. Vegas still has both timeouts. Carr's pass is nearly intercepted. Avonte Maddox had the game right in his hands there, had he been able to make the grab. 2nd and 10 now. Carr under a lot of pressure, gets it to Kenyon Drake. Drake with a move, and he is in for a touchdown. How did that play work? Carr was under a ton of pressure. He threw it right between 3 Eagles defenders. Sure enough, Kenyon Drake not only made the catch, but he blew by all 3 of them to get the touchdown. That's the luckiest play I've ever seen. I have no clue how that worked, but it did, and the Raiders are now up 35-31. Can Jalen Hurts and the offense have one more drive to try to win the game? Hurts has been extraordinarily good today. He has 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He has been phenomenal throwing the football. But let's see what he can do here as the pass for Smith on 3rd down is broken up. This might be it. 4th and 8. The Eagles need to convert here, or else they have a very slim shot of winning the ball game. Jalen Hurts looking to throw it under pressure. He's going to scramble to the right side. Can he outrun the defenders? He does, and he goes out of bounds, so the Eagles don't have to use a timeout. A huge run for Jalen Hurts to keep the game alive. 2nd and 9. Philadelphia down to 2 timeouts now. Hurts with a strike into the hands of Goddard, who brings it to the 32. Eagles call their 2nd timeout. Philadelphia is in field goal range, but a field goal does nothing. It's touchdown or bust. Very next play. Hurts gonna look to throw it. He connects with Devontae Smith, who gains 21. Philadelphia goes no huddle to the line. They're now down to 10 seconds and 1 timeout. Hurts on the scramble brings it to about the 2, and the Eagles call their 3rd and final timeout. After an incompletion on 2nd down, that would bring us to 3rd down from the 2 with 2 seconds to go. This is the ball game for all the marbles. Hurts gonna go short for Goddard, who gets the touchdown at the buzzer, and the Eagles are gonna walk it off in fashion. Dallas Goedert with the touchdown. What a game, what a finish, what a drive from Jalen Hurts and company, and the Eagles somehow, some way, get the win today. I don't know how they pulled this one off, but they did. 37-35. The game did not have the Eagles attempt an extra point for some reason. The Eagles probably would have just knelt the ball anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But still, I thought you had to kick an extra point even if the clock has triple zeros. But it doesn't matter. A win is a win. Nonetheless, what a thrilling game. We've had so many close finishes this season, but this one might have been the most exciting. Not a lot of offense early in this game, but both offenses really excelled in the second half. Weird game for Derek Carr, but he threw for a lot of yards. He had a lot of big plays. Jalen Hurts, 25 for 41, 317, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Best game of his career. He was phenomenal. Career high in passing touchdowns. His first start this year without throwing an interception. He heard us talking about potential up-and-coming quarterbacks, so he wanted to make a statement. We did not run the ball well again today. Our rushing attack has not been good since week 1. Devontae Smith, 11 catches, 178 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was outstanding, and he has successfully completed the breakout challenge. 767 and a touchdown for Goddard, including the game winner. For the Raiders, Henry Ruggs, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller were all pretty good. 2 sacks today for Josh Sweat, 1 for Wallace. For whatever reason, Fletcher Cox is not in there, even though, remember, he had one on like the first play of the game. And then both interceptions in this one were courteous of Darius Slay, one of which went for a pick 6. So as you can see, looking at the breakout challenge message, Devontae Smith now has superstar development, and he gets 4,000 XP, which is practically a full skill point. So Devontae Smith's original development trait was star, but since he completed a breakout challenge, he now has superstar. What a great rookie season so far for Smith. He's already gone up 3 ratings points. He's been one of the best receivers in the league. Let me know what you think his superstar ability should be, because I'm not really an expert with those. Multiple Philadelphia Eagles took home Player of the Week honors, with Jalen Hurts winning the NFC Offensive Player of the Week and Darius Slay winning it for defense. Below the Player of the Week awards, I noticed a scenario that's really interesting. It says, tandem breakout for offense. Your star's recent performance has inspired a teammate. So when it says tandem breakout, is this like a double breakout challenge? Is Devontae Smith going to get another breakout opportunity, and then maybe somebody else on the team also gets one? Maybe it's Jalen Hurts. That'd be really cool. Try to get him up to star dev. Next episode is the trade deadline. There are a lot of players on the trade block. Now, I'm not going to be trading everybody. Most of these players are going to stay. Added with the fact that we're 4-3, we're the best team in the division, we're not going to full-on sell, because we have a realistic shot of making the postseason. Also, next episode will be the first doubleheader of the season. We're going to play 2 games, Week 8 at the Detroit Lions and Week 9 at home against the Los Angeles Chargers. For the rest of Season 1, I think what I'm going to do is either a doubleheader episode, or the episodes of only 1 game are going to have prospect profiles. So I think that's what the rest of this season is going to look like. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace out.